This is I don't know which one it is, but it's the I Hate Insurance podcast because I started my own insurance company because I hate insurance companies because they're crooks. So anyway,
I hate UFC fighters.
I love them.
I'm Dale Brisby, the world's greatest
Washed up bull rider.
the world's greatest bull rider, and Cowboy Cerrone's best friend.
That's cool.
It's a one-sided best friend. That's the thing, though. You are my best friend, but I'm not yours.
No, that's not how I worded it. I said I'm your best friend.
And well, I am a washed-up UFC fighter, so thanks for being my pal.
Yep. Everybody kind of left him after he retired.
But Dale stuck around. Do you have insurance, Dale?
You know, I do, but I don't think that it's good enough, and that's why I'm here today.
There you go.
You think so?
Because I'd like to ask Rick some questions.
Do you have like personal insurance?
I got a couple of policies.
Did you have policies when you were riding?
Through the association, but it's not the best. I didn't know this type of insurance existed.
Yeah, I mean, again, they sell you cans of corn. They create and nitrocross, and they have the foundation that if people get hurt, the foundation provides them some coverage. But most of the motocross tracks, most anything excludes participants, right? So if you go skydiving, you go rodeo riding, whatever, there's no participant coverage. And again, that's where I started, insuring helicopter ski guides and rafting and mountain climbing, which it's actually the best thing to insure. It's the lowest risk because if you go into the ring, you know the risks. Right. You jump out of a plane, you know the risk. That's called assumption of the risk. So in the 80s, all the insurance guys said, release forms are no good and you can't insure this stuff. And a release form is just assumption of the risk. Right? If I can prove you assume the risk, I don't need a release form. But to make it clear, it's a written, you signed it like you do other things, it's pretty hard for you to say you didn't assume it. They are no good if my raft malfunctions or I increase the risk to you. I do have a professional duty, but if I do everything the way it should be, and you screw up as the participant, you don't clip into the belt right like we taught you, then you're responsible. So you have to do it in an organized way. You have to get a release form. I insured Bob Burnquist's biggest skateboard ramp in his backyard, and again, he had insurance. Everybody buys insurance. Problem is it doesn't cover what you do, right? And
well, I have a question on what you do.
Yeah.
Let's just say, hypothetically, there's a gentleman who all he wanted to do when he grew up was become a bull rider. So he met this guy who teaches people how to be bull riders, moves out to his house, and gets mentored by this so-called bull rider.
Right.
The guy works his way up, now has the opportunity to ride in one of the biggest organizations in the world. While he's under this guy's care, he hurts his arm and can no longer ride. His dreams are crushed and can no longer perform this act. Could I go after such person, or could the alleged person go after such person for
you just
for loss?
it.
For
That's
loss?
kind of a far-fetched story.
Yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen.
You could sue him, but he doesn't have coverage for it. If he had coverage, the shitty insurance companies would pay you and then cancel him. So you really don't have insurance. It's a one-use thing. And that's what people in Florida say. It's like, I say, why don't you report your claim? It's like, because they'll cancel me. And I'm like, oh, so you have a turd for insurance, right? If you use your insurance, it shouldn't go away. That's the true test of really anything. If you can't ride the bull, you don't get a ride anymore, right?
Right.
The only way you stay in the game is because you stay on and you're competitive. So insurance companies don't want to do their job. That's the truth. So anyway, we custom fit it. We can cover you. And if this alleged guy sued you because he hurt his arm, we would kick his ass in court because he knew the risks and you trained him right.
And his argument would be, no. I didn't understand the risk. He explained them. I'm just really dumb. That's what he would have to say.
Well, then he would lose anyway.
But since you don't have the right insurance, you would be in trouble.
I'm just talking about in that metaphorical situation you described, that person would be like, I mean, like super dumb, like 5th grade reading level dumb, right? Like
Hypothetically.
in the hypothetical we're talking about. And the teacher is just like, you know, big, strong, handsome, very articulate, you know, has many leather-bound books.
Yeah.
You know,
So he's well educated.
very well educated. Yeah.
So we're here to talk about something serious, helping the people that are struggling with the latest hurricane. And, you know, again, these people, when you see them on TV and stuff, they're asking for the government, right? And in the Hawaiian wildfires and other storms, that's what they're looking for. You know, if you're
Aren't
looking
these folks going to get some money, though? I mean, quite a bit of money.
from
No, I'm just kidding. $750 is what I'm hearing.
from the government.
That's a joke.
No, and again, you know, we're giving it to them, but we all pay for it too. So it's
Right.
all like bullshit, right? The government should, and insurance companies should say, look, if I take your money, I'm going to be there for you. These people, when they're in trouble, they should be looking to their insurance. So, you know, that's what I feel. And the people we insure down there, we're taking care of them. And they'll, you know.
So you were telling us earlier that if you live on a coastal area, not only do you have to have homeowner insurance, but you also have to cover flood insurance also. And a lot of these insurance companies, they don't.
Well, they don't cover flood. The flood program is federal. And if you have a $5 million house, you can only buy $200,000 worth of flood. So,
Man, it's
you know,
wild.
the flood program has been in place since the 50s when $200,000 was a lot of money. But as real estate values have grown, the federal, you know, government is never going to solve our problems, right? It should be private, and insurance is a huge business, and it is just math, right? If I insure your $10 million house, and every 10 years it's going to be destroyed by a hurricane, I got to collect $1 million a year to make you happy, right? So I do say buyers have an obligation here too, right? Don't just say, what's the cheapest price? I buy the cheapest price. They should say, how are you going to treat me when I need you? And are you going to keep insuring me, right? What does a claim look like? Then we can talk about the price. So, you know, nobody has the right insurance because I don't write a lot of people's homeowners. I started writing it 5 years ago when the wildfires went to California. We insured Jessica Simpson, Drake, Warren Beatty, who's an old actor. You guys wouldn't know. Only old guys know him. Anyway, you know, we look at it like a partnership. We're with you through the thick and thin, and that's where the rest of the industry doesn't do it. So we're going to donate or match up to $100,000 in donations for whatever Cowboys support group can come up with.
Right.
And we're going to go down there as time goes on when we can get in, and we're going to find people that we can help with that money. We're not going to spend any of it on accountants or anything, right? Every penny raised will go to people who need it, and we'll have a process where you can submit if you know people who are in trouble. You know, we'll consider that, but we're also going to go down there and actually pass out the money. So
Put the boots on the ground.
You got a extra hundo laying around, don't you?
Yep.
Probably. Mm-hmm. Some of that fight money.
I had to pay for my surgery
from the bull riding,
from the bull riding
injury.
So once I settle up in court with you, all that money can go. Yeah.
Oh, so I was the hypothetical a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's thinking it through. So anyway, I appreciate your guys' support, you know, doing this. I think there are a lot of people down there who are, you know, going to have a long struggle. There was a story the other night on 60 Minutes where one of the Florida homeowners is still mowing his lawn of a house he can't live in. He's still paying the mortgage, and he's still paying the insurance premium to the company who didn't pay his claim, so he can't live in his house.
But why would he still keep paying the insurance claim? That's what I don't understand.
He said nobody else will insure him. So
Well,
I
then don't
told
have
everybody,
insurance.
contact that guy and tell him we'll insure it, because we're insuring what structure's there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can do. His fight with his crappy
Sure.
prior insurance carrier is his fight, and he's doing that. I don't know anything about it, but he was on 60 Minutes. It's a sad story. That's not how insurance should perform. It's not if you're at the top.
How
of
many
your
people
game.
do you think that are down in this devastating area that didn't have insurance at all?
Well, I would tell you that 90% of them don't have flood, which 90% of this is flood. So the other thing that insurance doesn't cover is mudslide, which when you get all that kind of rain, now there's going to be houses sliding down the mountain. Doesn't cover earthquake. So,
So your house gets wiped out by water or flooded or mud, and then you're like, damn, now what do I got to do? You call your insurance company, and they just say,
it's not covered.
yeah, thanks for playing.
And so again, we make lawyers rich as a dumb insurance industry because they have no choice but to sue you, right? Look at Florida, look at Mississippi, look at Alabama. Every time a storm comes, the lawyers end up suing for every homeowner because nobody actually understands what happens after the storm, right?
Yeah.
When you find out you don't have the proper coverage. Some people have a $100,000 roof deductible. They don't have $100,000 laying around.
Right.
Insurance companies use that to not pay the claim. My policy allows me to loan you the money so I can fix your house, because if we don't fix it, it's going to deteriorate away like this guy on 60 Minutes whose house, he's going to have to rip it down. And it could have been repaired if they would have dealt with it 2 years ago. So when you got a problem and you don't take care of it, it doesn't get any worse. It doesn't get any better.
What happens in that scenario where your house is totaled, insurance doesn't help you? You just have to foreclose on the house? Like
so
what?
one of my pilots had a house in Naples. It was condemned. He had a $500,000 insurance policy and a $200,000 flood policy. They come out and look at it, right? The water went up in the house. They condemned it, but the house is still there, right? So the homeowners paid him like $112,000 and the flood paid him $100,000. Well, the new house is like $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So now everybody can apply for federal low-interest loans to rebuild their house. But again, we're going to the government, which means all of us are dealing with the problem that
And
the
you said a
industry
low-interest
should
loan,
deal
so they have
with.
to pay it back.
Yeah, but it's government funded, and you're paying for insurance that doesn't work. It's just stupid. So again, I've offered people. The one lady I talked about earlier, her old price with the company who went broke that didn't cover flood was $7,000. My price, I cover everything, was $10,000, $3,000 more dollars, and if you pay the right price, this will work. But if the insurance companies never offer you the whole thing, like I said earlier, you can't.
What
be
if you don't
half
have the
pregnant.
whole thing?
Well, the whole premium.
Yeah, like
Well, again,
what if I don't have $10,000?
No, he's just saying if the insurance company is going to be like, no, I'll cover this nine
Well,
out
I
of 10
understand, but
things,
they don't read the fine print about it. So he says 10,000, she sees 7,000. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with the cheaper one because I have the 7,000. I don't have the 10.
I understand that the first time.
Yeah.
Right. She went through it and saving the three. She couldn't get the insurance I offered the first storm she went through, so she didn't have a chance. So I meet her, and she has been financially ruined and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, hired a lawyer, been deposed, gone after the insurance companies. Eventually, she gets some money, but the lawyers take the lion's share of it. So you don't have $3,000, but you cost yourself $300,000 more over the next 2 years. And, when I meet these people who say they don't have the money, the extra $3,000, they're wearing a gold chain that's worth $3,000. They're driving a brand new car, right? They're wearing a Rolex. So
Yeah,
when
you're saying you can't afford not to.
yeah, your house is your most valuable asset. It's our country's most valuable asset. Home ownership, having a family, all that shit. And you want to pay more money for a watch, and you don't have the money for the proper insurance. And, if you live in Iowa.
But have you seen these watches? I mean, the things they can do.
I know.
It can tell me my heart rate.
But those aren't the expensive watches either. Those are fairly affordable for the normal person, like a bull rider
It's a good one.
or a UFC fighter.
I don't have any.
Cowboy doesn't even wear a watch, no jewelry, no nothing.
Just
so I know he can afford the right insurance.
Because people will steal it from him
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you can't fight back.
Anymore.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully this works out where
I think, well, there's no way it can't work out. I mean, there's so many people willing and able to go and help. And like we were talking about over in the other conference room, it'd be nice to go down there, put feet on the ground, and help the people that don't even know they're about to get helped.
right.
Right?
Yeah, and to be honest, like it's just the beginning of their journey. Like we won't be saints. It's not like they're gonna like probably write us letters like whatever we're able to help with. Like it'll be great, and I'm sure they'll be grateful. But like I can't imagine just the journey that they're about to have to go on to,
Yeah, it'd be like a
to
very
rebuild.
finite thing that we help them with, right?
Yeah.
One of the things we ought to do is try and get locations, right? Like we're here, and obviously it's a long way away, but if people say, hey, you need to come to this town and see
It's
this,
bad.
there's people here that need help, then, we can fly up there and we can go there. Again, after, the last hurricanes in Florida, Parker and I'd go down there every couple of weeks and fly around and film stuff and meet people. And that's, it takes a while to be able to get in there. Obviously, with the helicopter, we can get in there easy, but we need the local authorities not to, arrest us for going in there, which is what I'm worried about.
Sure.
I don't like getting in trouble. I try and stay out of trouble no matter what, unlike somebody else I've heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy.
But I think, I don't know. I think, like you're saying, helping what we can help them get through those moments is going to be very important,
Yeah.
Be able to hand you $10,000 or $8,000 or whatever we see fit at the moment, help them just get, they're not going to build $1 million home out of it. They're not going to rebuild their house that they lost, but they're definitely going to be able to get their head up enough water to take a breath.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it'll be cool.
Cowboy will be our bodyguard because we'll have to have like a briefcase.
I definitely walk around with a different level of confidence whenever I have Cowboy with me.
All right.
Yeah, I see him yelling profanity at people all the time.
What?
now.
What did you say to me, sir?
Uh-huh.
And he drives with another level of confidence. It's funny.
I'm a race car driver.
What'd you call it? The bonus lane?
Cowboy
We
lane.
take the Cowboy lane, the bonus lane, and it'll piss people off, and they just start honking, and I'm like, please don't honk. You don't know who you're honking at. Stop honking. Please stop honking. We will pull over, and it will not be good.
So has he ever been pulled over by a police officer informing him that's not the bonus lane?
No.
It's called the emergency lane.
A cop saw us do it today,
They did.
but it was kind of cool, and he
gave a
barely
little-
made it, and he kind of gave us the head nod.
Coming down that canyon.
Yeah.
Comes to that
Up to that
stoplight,
light.
and you got to take right.
Right.
Well, there's like a bonus lane there. There was a big.
It was a semi-truck on the Jake brake, and he was backing up traffic, and Cerrone here did not like it. Very impatient man. And so he jumped in the bonus lane and barely got around that semi before the lane ended. Woo!
And the cop.
The
cop was just
the
right
cop
there.
Said, that was some cool shit. Have a good day.
Yeah, same thing that the cop said to him. He was on his way to my house to rearrange his bicep, and going like 95, my local cop was like, "Oh, you're headed to Dale's, huh? I'm gonna let it slide." But
So yeah,
you're welcome for that.
you're welcome.
Anything else, Johnny?
Yeah, we want Cowboy to end it with that soundbite of the goal, right? Let's get 1 million people to donate a couple bucks each. Really change some lives.
Yeah, that's what we want to end with. Well, it doesn't even have to be 1 million people.
No, but I mean,
If we get, because our limit, or I get the money you're matching 100,000. If we can get 100,000 people to just donate $1, $1, and between a lot of people I know, I'm sure making this money is going to be pretty easy and fast. So we're gonna be headed down, handing out Scrooge McDuck's money in no time. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'm gonna donate the first $1. Oh dang! I don't have $1 because you won mine.
Yeah,
yesterday.
because I won your dollar.
This is my first donation.
$5.
I'm gonna get $5. I'm gonna donate more.
We got
I'm not
$10
a
then.
cheap ass. I will donate more, but that's the first $5. Give that to Rick.
Get the ball rolling.
He's not the one gonna be collecting the money, is he? Give me that.
No.
I'm
I
gonna trust
him.
you to count it.
You think it'd go like the Biden votes counted?
It would just take forever. 7, 8. Dang it! I got to start over. I lost
7,
count.
8. Oh, a couple hundred.
We're good.
Hell yeah.
Again, appreciate you guys coming down.
No worries. I'm excited. It's for a great cause, and I think it's going to work out. Like I said, we can just get a couple 100,000 people just to donate $1 to change lives. We're going to go down there, put the feet on the ground, go meet, talk, interact with people that we think need help the most, and just drop them a little envelope like, there you go, have a nice day.
Yep. Get down there.
Send everybody to xinsurance.com/cares for it.
So head to xinsurance.com/cares.
Yep. We're ready.
Boom.
And when life hands you lemons, put a bull rope on them.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dale Brisby.
On to the next one.
Yes, sir.